So before we go into the knowing other, the first concept we go into in our report, let's explore another concept that also is in our report, in this part of the report, which is cognitions and agency. Teacher cognitions and agency. What is that? Right? So let's go with cognitions first. So teacher cognitions is the beliefs, knowledge, attitudes, and thought processes that teachers have within their teaching actions, let's say. So, when we talk about beliefs and knowledge, what does that mean? Beliefs. It is what teachers believe about teaching methods, which teaching method works best and which doesn't. Student capabilities. Can my students manage everything? How much can my students manage? What their skills are, and the educational system, for example. I agree with the educational system. I don't agree with the educational system. I'm going to create my own curriculum in my classroom. I'm going to do a needs analysis. I'm going to, right? So these are my beliefs, and that determines my behavior as well, right? But it's also the knowledge. So it's beliefs and knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of the subject matter. For example, in my case, I've taught biology until second of secondary, right? So how much do I know about biology, the subject itself, and how much do I know about how to teach biology? It's not just the content, but it is about the methodology. How much do I know about teaching that subject that I have to teach? What the methodologies that I need to use, etc. So it's the beliefs, it is the knowledge, it's also the attitudes. So, what are attitudes? So, these are teachers' feelings and predispositions, inclinations towards different aspects of teachings. I, in my case, love playing games in my class. So, I'm going to play a lot of games. I like game based learning, and then we come out into we come to an outcome, and everybody gets together and talks about it at the end. I'm that kind of teacher. Um, Game-based learning, classroom management, how do I design my lessons, etc. Those are my attitudes, right? My feelings, my predispositions. But also it's my thought processes. The mental processes involved in planning lessons. What happens in my mind when I'm planning lessons? Do I write down my lesson plan before my lesson, or do I go on Eduki and piece lessons together, trying to find materials that are fun, etc. Also, it has to do with making decisions during instruction. What happens if a child doesn't want to work in groups, right? What is my thought process there? What is my attitude? And I go back to attitudes, right? What's my predisposition to stop the class and speak to the child, or the class continues and I take the child outside the classroom and we talk to each other? What is it? And how all of that reflects on my teaching practices. So, teacher cognitions is about the beliefs that we have about teaching methods, etc., the knowledge that we have about teaching and about what we teach, the attitudes that we have towards teachings, inclinations, predispositions, and the thought processes. What goes on in here, in which order, when I have to do what for my classes, for my teaching. So those are teacher cognitions.